Well, hello, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and today we are working on part 2 of our May Journal Monthly. So last week we made our front cover and we started our 2 signatures and we did some work on the Mummy Grummy for the back cover. Now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to find my bone folder, she says. This scoring tool will suffice. Make sure we get a nice fold in that. I'm going to glue it together. This is just to give me extra strength. If you wanted to save one half to use for a different project, then you could just glue it to some cardboard. But I'm planning on using it all for this. So just glue stick through one side, fold it over, press it down, and that's going to give us super strength for the back. I'm now going to join this to this, and then I'm going to tear off the excess or cut off the excess, whatever. So I'm going to apply glue to my back flap. Now you can obviously put this onto your sewing machine if you have one and you want to, or you could stitch it by hand. Whatever you feel is appropriate. If you want to give it some added strength, I'm just going to butt this right up to the end there, so that I've now got a back to my journal cover. Okay, and while we set that aside to dry, yeah, that is going to dry. I'm going to set that aside there. Now, when we did our signatures last week, we didn't have very many pages. So what I want to look at today is ways that you can increase your pages. So I've just got a few things here. So this is from a 6x6. We can see this is miles too big. So if I come in a bit and down a bit, take my ruler, you can obviously cut this if you choose to. I'm going to tear it with a good old Stanley and then come across the bottom like so. If this page has obviously got a pocket in, so I don't want anything on there. If I now put that there, we can see that's going to fit inside. So let's make ourselves a nice easy flap. So I'm just going to take some washi tape. This is quite a wide one, and try to open it up. They do like sticking to themselves, these things, and I'm just going to use my washi tape to make a hinge. So, oh no, I'm not, because you see it's really stuck to itself, this one. Excuse me. Right, let's try that again. So half onto my piece. That's not very straight, is it, Claire? Right, should we try that again? Half onto my piece. Cut off the excess piece that I don't need. Top and bottom. And then just line that up, giving myself a little bit of space. That folds over, and now we've got a flip out there, so we've technically added another page. I've also got here a frame I've just die cut a picture frame. So you could put this in the centre if you wanted to. So to put it into the centre, I'm going to tear off a piece of washi tape. I'm going to make that sausage roll that we used to make. So I've folded that in half. I'm going to put the fold to the top, pop that down on there, trim off my excess piece, and then pop that down on the page, and then that is going to lift up. That's a bit crooked, get it straight, Claire, but that will lift up for us if we want to lift that up. You can then obviously put a picture, whatever, underneath, and then you've got a frame. Just ways to add extra pages. And then if we find another page here, I've die cut a tag, so exactly the same again. Oh, this washi tape is not being my friend today, is it? There we go. Exactly the same again. Gonna add a piece of washi tape to my tag, bend it over, line this up to the edge of the page, lift up my page, make sure it's all lined up, put my washi tape down, and then that's going to give me a flip out page that side. You can do it to the top, you can go to the right. Where's our frame go? You can do it to the top, and you can do it to the left. You could even do it downwards. Now if you haven't got any washi tape, then you can make your own. So I've got here an old till roll. Well, it's not old, it's new till roll, but, and if I place this on here and I add a stencil, any stencil that goes with what you're doing. Whoops, I've got blue ink because you all know I'm a little bit partial to blue. And you just stencil through. Now I'm using till roll, you could use any paper at all, a bit of coffee dyed paper, or your scraps that you've already cut off for whatever reason. And by doing this, you can actually create your own washi tape. So there's the length. If I tear it there like that, this is about 2 inches. It's a little bit over 2 inches. If I then put my ruler, I can tear down, and that is, you know, it's wider than this washi tape, it's shorter than this one, but again, you can very easily fold that over. Let's tear that off there. I can glue one side like this. I can add that to my page, making sure that it's nicely on the edge. And then when I glue something to this side, it's going to flap open. Yeah. So we use an extra piece of map and have a smaller one. So put some glue on that side. Simple as that. Line up your item in this case my piece of card. I'm going to tear that across there. And now I've got another flap. So you don't need washi tape, you can make your own in so many ways. So that's a way that you can add pages to your signatures. Okay, so got my two signatures. This is covered in glue, so I'll get rid of that. This now seems to be pretty much stuck down. So I'll take my scissors. Still got some extra. Cut across that way. Cut up this side. Okay, and then down this side. I've now got a front and a back to my journal. Now we can see here that this is not very straight. So if I now put my Stanley on there, obviously if you can cut in a straight line, unlike me, then you could just have trimmed that. There we go, trim that off. And there's a little bit on the bottom there. And there's a little bit extra here. So we'll just trim that off. There we go. We've now got a very grungy journal. Very happy with that. I just want to get an extra bit of glue there. I wasn't planning on stitching it. I might have to, but we'll just run a bit of glue across there and see what happens. I'm thinking now that's probably gonna be sufficient. So I'm going to now stitch in my signatures. So got my awl, but I do believe we already did, yes we did holes for stitching last week. Just going to reinforce those. Like so. You can see them very clearly. Got thread, got a needle. Right, so I'm just going to work out now that we have got a mark on 3 and 1 inch there, and 1 below a half. So if I open up my pages, I'll put this in. I'm going to put my ruler at the top. I'm going to measure it. So there's the 1.5. Is it 1.5? No, 1.25. I'm glad I double checked that. So 1.25, 3 and 1, and pop my all through there and through there. That's one. And this one that's got the extras in is now a lot fluffier, but obviously I can add all those extras into the other one as well. 1.25, 3 and 1, hole. Hole. Okay. You've all done this many times, I know you have. I'm doing a bit more than 3 times. Actually, I'm going to do a bit more than 4 times because I want to do something a little bit different. It's all about being different and using scraps this month's journal. I'm going to thread my needle and I'm actually going to come through from outside. Okay, like that, and then I'm going to come through that hole there, she says, through that hole, back up through that hole, and then I'm going back out there. So now we've got that sewn to there with 2 holes. Okay, I'm now going to go across here and through my second hole, which is there. So I've got that straight line there. Okay, and then coming down through that hole, going across, got 1 hole now. Oh goodness me. There it is. Through my hole, pull in my excess thread. Okay, and then back to the outside. Okay, and then if you pull this thread tight, this is the one that's on the needle, pull that on tight and then pull the loose one tight. That'll tighten that up, and then I'm just going to tie there and there and just pull and pull and pull, and because it's wax it will settle on itself. I'm cutting it quite long, okay, because that is going to enable me to put a dangle on the front. And now this is all sewn together. Now if you really want to, you could use it this way, except obviously the pockets, but I don't want it this way, I want it this way. I want this to be the top, this to be the bottom, and that's why I'm going to hang a dangle down there. But I don't want to put my dangle on until after I have put my front decoration on. So there you go. For this week we are putting our back cover on, trimming it to size. We are adding additional papers and items like the tag, okay, and we are then sewing our signatures in with a long dangle to hang on the front. So there you go, that's this week's update. As always, I'd like to say a huge thank you for you coming along and joining me. Stay safe, I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.